welcome back. I'm Gaming Titan here, and we're back with Malinovka and the HWK 1-2. It's my first video with the HWK 1-2. It is the successor light tank, tier 8 light tank, following on from the Sport Panzer 1C. And I've recently unlocked and played a few games in it. So I thought I would share this particular one, just give my first impressions to it. Essentially, it's the Sport Panzer 1C, a tier higher. Adjusted for hit points and a slightly better gun, but performance wise it plays just the same. Anything you can do in the first you can do in the second. What's successful in the first will be successful in this tank, it seems to me. The tank will improve slightly. You get better view range and I think signal range of the tank elevates up. The gun performance I don't think changes significantly, and probably gets slightly quicker as well. I'd have to look exactly at the configuration packages. It looks like you get upgraded tracks, turret, but I think the turret upgrade mostly gives you extra vision. Might give you slightly faster turret rotation. Turret rotation of Sport Panzer 1C is a bit lacking. Gun handling is about the same. Might be slightly better. But the overall performance of the tank just feels very, very similar. And everything I've said about the Sport Panzer 1C over the last couple of weeks or months pretty much applies to this tank so far as I can see. And I don't see it dramatically changing. There's like two options, two packages beyond this one, and then you are straight into the higher tier tank. It's got a decent enough view range. This game, on the other hand, is different thing entirely. It's a really weird game. Teams are very passive, and it shows up I think a lot of the flaws of having heavy tanks, because I've spotted quite a few tanks and I'll spot more and I'll spend some time lighting them up, and some, like the tank destroyer, is probably hittable by those heavy tanks, the Stuart Emil. Well, they are punishing it now, and there it goes. But we've got a lot of tanks in places where they're not actually in a position to shoot stuff that I'm spotting. And I also think they're probably not effective at shooting it either, because given they're heavy tanks, they won't necessarily have good long-range accuracy guns. And they're not good at spotting the enemy. So we have a medium tank, I think, that's probably enabling the enemies being spotted there. But if he gets taken out, or disappears from view, like which I think he did now just behind the buildings, we lose sight of all the tanks down the field. And this probably brings to a mistake that I was just noticing in hindsight, having played the game and watched the video a couple of times, that I actually stay up here too long, because I am lighting tanks up, yes. I'm telling the team where the tanks are, but nobody's shooting except for the artillery, shooting the tanks that I'm lighting up. So I'm not actually being all that beneficial to my team. And I might actually have been better off going back to where I was before and see if I could light tanks up for the tanks down the village. And in fact, I suppose if the other light tank had gone up to where I was before and lit those tanks up, we might do better. And we're not pushing the hill well enough either. Now, there is only two tanks on the hill. One of them the medium tank, there might be three tanks on the hill at the moment. But they're not pushing the hill. They're not pushing down on... There's three tanks on the hill. They're not pushing down on the enemies. And one of them is an Object 416 that actually fires one shot at the game right at the very end. But then a 416 on that hill is not a great location for it, because you have to fire downhill, and it's notorious for not having any gun depression. Mostly because there isn't any tank to gun depress off of. It just doesn't have the height. This thing is probably taller than it. Actually significantly taller than it. So yeah, this is probably one of my less good habits, is that sort of continuing to do what I was doing before, even if it is not actually making a whole lot of difference. I have built up a good stock of assisted damage, but again, at least most of it, actually a substantial amount of that assisted damage, is from 2 artillery hits. And the position down the western side of the map is rapidly deteriorating. We've just lost a couple more tanks, and the deficit between us and the enemy is just building up really rapidly. And if I can get a decent shot on this guy, 45 TP. I didn't succeed there. And although the 45 TP is not terribly badly armoured, it's kind of overstating what my tank can do. But I was thinking if I could get rid of him, I could possibly... I think the gun actually has better... no, still have enough of them. Just made a mistake there of actually switching... well, I switched to high explosives because I thought if I hit anywhere with high explosives I could probably take out that tank, but then he doesn't show himself. And the situation while I'm waiting for this shot has deteriorated further down on our side, and we've now lost the whole southern western side of the map completely. We've only got effectively 2 tanks defending, and even still that tank destroyer is probably a little too far back to be effective to see all the tanks that are lit up. And there's a medium tank Craft Panther creeping down by the edge of the lake, and it's probably about time that I actually left this location. I should have done it probably a good while ago and tried to shore up the defences on the other side. The other thing is that this is still a relatively slow muzzle. I think it's a faster muzzle velocity than the Spot Panzer 1C, but it's still not the fastest, so I'm not giving enough lead here to the Craft Panther, and I don't have a lot of experience on this gun. I'm not the best at leading always. It takes me a while to get used to a gun. So we have wiped out the Craft Panther. I get a shot off. As you can see, there's a bit of arc there, so it's not the the shells do arc, and then the bat shots come after me. So the only thing to do there is go after him back. There's no place to run away to. And there's really no ally spare in order to help me out, so it's all up to me to do this. And we managed to take him out. But then we take that one final hit from the Carnarvon, which is a real pity, because if I had the capacity spare, I could possibly have afforded to take the hit to take out one of the 3, and maybe all 3. If I'd gotten out of the Alpine or the Carnarvon out of the way, the opportunity would be to take the other 2 out later on, and I could really have turned the game around. But after that, I'm not too sure. I took the damage and didn't really have the capacity to do it. And we're still spotted. So we're now trying to I'm trying to shore up the defense down this end. The tank destroyer has probably advanced a little too far into ground, just taking a shot on the side. He's dead. And at that point I changed my mind about going down to join him. I was going to go down to try and spot for him, but then I thought there's no actual point, and I might as well stay here and wait to see if I can get some spotting done as they advance. Get them to move out of cover and see if I can see them. And I have one tank to assist me. At this stage, actually, the guys in the hill better off if they'd more or less come down this side of the map. See if we could defeat one side first. Now, I came down because I thought I might get the second shot on the WZ, but I did not manage to do so. He's behind the hull of the T-29 there, and I just don't have a clean shot. And I've tried and finesse a shot here, but I'm spotted from a different direction. The Hydra, which is... I'm not sure what the Hydra is actually. I know it's one of the new premium tanks and it's a reskin, something else. And here we have the 416, 100% health, and a FE for 201 black at 2%. So this guy just goes and hides behind the rock. And I said, right, there's no point in watching him. He's just given up and he's just hiding behind the rock. But Object 416 never really tried. As I said, if you look at the final stats, he never fires a shot in this game except for the very end. The FE201 is attempting to reset the cap, but he's in a heavy tank. He just doesn't gonna have the view range, I think. And the Carnarvon, well, I mean, he's taking the right approach. He's bounced the shot, but then he gets taken out by the Hydra as well. So I just looked up the Hydra. It's a reskinned IS-6, but it's basically with better armor and a much better gun. Although the accuracy is down, but the penetration and alpha is upped considerably. And this is our friend in the Object 416 who has fired his one shot. And then he suicides his tank. Bang, there he goes. I just wonder about people like that. I mean, it's 4 minutes 30 seconds into the game, so he's, what, 11 and a half minutes being sitting on top of the map, essentially doing nothing. And kind of, how do you have the patience to do that? How do you play a game and just not contribute, not do anything? I don't understand it. But anyway, but these HWK 12, yeah, I mean, it's fine. Light tank, it's pretty much the same as its previous incarnation in the Sparpanzer 1C. I think if you enjoy one, you'll enjoy the other, and so far this German light tank line is actually a pretty sweet line to play down. I don't have any complaints really about any one of them. I think the weakest tanks are probably the Leopard and the VK2801, and they're not terrible. You know, they're not bad tanks. They're just probably the weakest in the whole line so far. So I look forward to actually playing some more games. I haven't quite finished with the Sparpanzer 1C yet. I haven't unlocked the Indian Panzer. I'm also very close to actually a second Mark of Excellence, so I might actually go for that as well. But I'll probably do it with the alternate crew that are not quite as good as this crew. So I'll have to see how that works out. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please press like, comment, share. It really helps the channel out. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.